Good morning. This is Jay Trucker 717, and you are listening to Jay Trucker 717 Broadcasting. All right. Let me get my cup of coffee this morning. Okay, all across the country, today is Juneteenth Day. Happy Juneteenth Day. It was a day that I guess it was in Texas where they basically went around saying, hey, President Lincoln has already set the Emancipation Proclamation and that slaves are free. And the general went around saying that to people, and that's what we're celebrating on this day, the day that slaves were declared for free. And it was 2.5 years after Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. So we celebrate that day for that reason. And Black Lives Matter is all across the country, having all kind of different things going on to not only protest the injustice of black men getting killed by white officers across the country, just for small things like a speeding ticket, bad check, DUI, and instead of them going to court and having their day in court, they're killed on the streets. So you see that protest going on around. So we're celebrating this day of Black Lives Matter, Juneteenth Day, and let's look at all of the different protests and the different celebrations that are going around the country. As a trucker, you want to pay attention to this because you don't want to get caught up in the action going on. Take a look at this clip real quick. Okay, this is a celebration, and what a celebration it is. You can see it's all people from all different races celebrating this Juneteenth and Black Lives Matter. So you're going to see celebrations like this all across the country. Okay, so we have protests going all over the country and celebration for Juneteenth Day. Staying on that same subject, I'm sorry to report the FBI has arrested a truck driver who allegedly posted a video to YouTube threatening to kill protesters. On Monday, FBI agents arrested Manuel Flores, a 42-year-old truck driver who lives in El Paso, Texas. That's where the actual Juneteenth celebration is from, Texas. Flores was arrested on federal charges of making threats over the internet. Be careful what you say on the internet, truck drivers. Flores allegedly posted a video under the YouTube account called Don't California My Texas. According to the federal criminal complaint, Flores recorded and uploaded a video to YouTube entitled Nigger Lives Matter, in which he made threatening comments to Black Lives Matter's protests. The complaint states that the video Flores' faces cannot be seen. He's only visible from knees down, which appears to be an AR-15, can be seen resting on his feet. The video, Flores said that he would be traveling on I-20 eastbound through Dallas. He allegedly dared Black Lives Matter supporters to stop him. Flores stated that my dream is at least take out at least 200 niggers, the complaint states. Flores remains in custody in the U.S. Marshals Service as awaiting transfer to El Paso. He is convicted. He will face up to 5 years in federal prison. What a dummy. Again, I told you that I need a Big Dummy Award on my broadcast. That's a Big Dummy Award right there. All right. What else is going on? After weeks of volatility, spot rates settled to in above pre-pandemic levels. This is good news. Good news. Rates are going up. Like I said, they will go up. National average van, refrigerated, and flatbed rates recovered to where we were prior to widespread shutdowns of the U.S. economy in March, as the number of posted loads increased 18% during the week ending June 7th. Let's take a look at this clip real quick. It's very interesting how the rates have increased. Okay, as we can see here, the rates start in March with $1.87 for a van, and it went down to $1.63 in April, and in May dipped all the way to $1.60, and now it's climbing back up to $1.75. And we can see flatbed was at $2.19 in March and dropped down to $1.94 in April, and in May it dropped down to $1.90, and now it's back up to $2.01. And we can see reefer here in March it was at $2.19, dropped down to $1.93. In May went back up to $2.02, and in June it's up to $2.10. Now the volume of the freight is 28% higher in high traffic lanes, and that's according to the 72 DAT top 100 van lanes. And some of the major markets that you're looking at is Los Angeles van load increased 21%. Chicago van loads was up 35%. And then reefer trends, product shifts north. The national average of reefer load to truck ratio was 3.9 last week compared to 3.7 the previous week. And in Florida, among 16 reefer lanes where rates were declined last week, the top 7 originated in Miami or Lakeland. The biggest drops was in Lakeland to Baltimore, down 17 cents. And flatbed trends ratio, flatbed carriers have endured additional volatility in industry and construction and manufacturing. They have increased 2.2%. Low volumes from Houston, by far the country's busiest flatbed freight market in Houston. Okay, that was very interesting. They have some very high traffic areas too, and loads are increasing. The percentage of loads are increasing. Those are all good things. All right. I love things like this. This is what I used to love as a truck driver. I was kind of the electronic truck driver. I wanted to have all the tools. Truckers Tools, a secure space to help drivers find overnight parking. Truckers Tool will integrate secure space network of individual parking options into the platform and mobile driver app, adding 1,000 new locations for overnight and extended commercial truck parking across the country. All right. There's a lot of space for trucks to park that isn't traditional. Truckers Tool is teaming up with Secure Space this month to create an Airbnb for truckers looking for a safe space to rest at the end of their shift. Drivers and fleets using Truckers Tools will soon have access to nearly 1,000 locations offering special space for truck parking and other asset storage through Secure Space, which runs an online marketplace that connects businesses looking for parking and storage options to property owners with dedicated and excess capacity. The lack of available parking was the number 3 concern for commercial drivers, according to the American Transportation Research Institute 2009 Critical Issues in Trucking Industry survey and report released last fall. After the report noted truck parking shortages create a dangerous and costly dilemma for truck drivers who are often forced to drive beyond allowable hours of service rules or park in undesignated and in many cases unsafe locations. Now we all know that. We used to complain about that when you're driving. You run out of time on your clock, but there's no place to park. So you got to continue driving on. And a lot of times you end up having to park on the shoulder or park, on the off-ramp, in-ramp, because there's nowhere to park. And that's very dangerous on the highway, a big truck, because people don't pay attention. You can be all the way over the shoulder of the road, and somebody can fishbone you. So it becomes very dangerous. Let's take a look at what it looks like on this app.
Okay, this is the app, the actual Trucker Tools app. And you can see it actually shows a picture of the parking lot where the actual available parking is.
All right. I like the fact that you can actually see the picture of the parking space. That's pretty neat. All right. What else is going on? What else is going on? Another app that I like a lot. Like I said, I'm a techie. Pay for weight transactions with new app. The Weigh My Truck app allows drivers to weigh and then get the weights displayed on a mobile device without having to leave their cab. The app will also email a locked PDF copy of the scale ticket to your specific email address. This is something that I would have loved to when I was out there driving OTR. You truckers always know you go to a truck stop, you got to wait to the lady, and sometimes the lady or man in the truck weigh station, he's got 20 things to do, and you're sitting there waiting to get loaded, and your time, your clock is ticking. And sometimes it may take a while for them to get to you. And then they're rude. They got an attitude because they have to do something with you, and you're just trying to get your truck down the road. So I love this. You can pay for your own app, pay for your own weight ticket, and don't have to worry about waiting on somebody and getting that rude person on the other end. Let's take a look at what it looks like.
Okay, and you can see the CAT scale here for this app. You can pay by CAT scale, and this is actually the beginning of the app where you'll see it. And you put the company name here, tractor, trailer, what you're actually weighing. This is information about what scale it is, where it is, what highway, what exit, all that information you need to put in there. CAT scale location number. Click the accept button here, and then here's your printed weight ticket. And you can pay without even having to go to wait for the people in the window, which takes forever.
Okay, I like that. Sign me up. If I ever get back on the road, I'm definitely going to use that app. All right, what else is going on? Not good news. Trucker swerves to avoid suspected DUI motorist rolling over a retaining wall. Let's take a look at this. 4 people were hurt in a crash that happened when a trucker was forced to swerve and avoid a reportedly intoxicated car driver on Wednesday. The crash occurred on I-94 in Kenosha County, Wisconsin on June 17th. At around 7 p.m., Kenosha County Sheriff's Department responded to a 2-vehicle crash at the 9,000 block of I-94. The 65-year-old truck driver was driving southbound on I-94 when a Buick that was also southbound veered into his lane. The truck driver swerved to avoid the collision, sending his truck into the west retaining wall. The truck tipped partially over the wall, and its contents were spilled onto the interstate. So this was a pretty bad accident. Since 3 passengers in the Buick and the semi-truck driver were all taken to a local hospital. The 56-year-old Buick driver, Avery Norman, from Waterloo, Iowa, was arrested for OWI, is that DWI? Causing injury and transporting to Kenosha County Jail. The video of the crash was captured on traffic cameras on the 22nd of March. Now, we don't have a video of that, but we actually have a picture of the clip of what it looks like. Let's take a look at this.
Okay, this is a picture of the actual truck over the embank. So it was a pretty bad crash here.
Okay, that doesn't look too good, but let's pray for the driver and hopefully he'll be okay. All people at the scene, yes. Okay, what else is going on? A very foamy sight after a semi spills hundreds of cases of beer. Beer. Yes, if you're anywhere close to that, make sure you give me a case. A semi rolled and spilled hundreds of cases of beer onto I-84, Morgan County, Utah. I-84, Morgan County, Utah. The Mountain Green, Weber, and Morgan Fire and EMS crews responded to a scene of a single vehicle crash around 1 p.m. on June 17, 2020. The case of beer was spilled out on the top of the semi and scattered onto the shoulder of I-84. Let's take a look at this clip. Like I said, if you're close by, make sure you grab me a case. Okay, and you can see all of the beer here. Beer, beer, beer. And there's another picture of the beer all scattered. I would love to have some of that beer right now. Okay. That is it for this broadcast. One of the things I forgot to mention today, not today, but this Sunday is Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all you truck drivers. I hope you get home with your family. And again, this is Jay Trucker 717 broadcasting. We're going to end with a weather break. And peace. I'm out of here.
We are headed into Father's Day weekend. Here's your forecast. On Friday, we have the threat for severe weather across parts of Texas, maybe even into Oklahoma and Kansas. Damaging winds and hail, not exactly a treat, but a nice, solid rain would be great. That area is in desperate need of rain. Now, more rain coming into the center of the country on Saturday. We'll also be watching some areas along the eastern seaboard, Florida picking up some rain, a little bit across the northwest. But notice much of the west, you're going to have some very quiet conditions. Now, as we go into Father's Day, we are going to find more wet weather. It's kind of stuck in the same place, right in the center of the country. Here's a look as we go throughout the day. You can see how it slides a bit more to the east. Still watching some pockets, too, along the eastern seaboard. And for all of you celebrating Father's Day, have a great one.